I'm Akrut Divyadas, and I have come from Delhi on a vacation, and I'm fortunate to have been given this opportunity to read the Bhagavatam.
Glory to you, Prabhu.
Nectar.
Please.
I'll be speaking the Sanskrit version of it, and my wife Narayani will be speaking the English version of it. And in case she gets stuck or somewhere, so I'll help her out because we're both sitting together.
We are blessed to have you here, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
I would request on the screen because I'm logging in from my
Can you see my screen or
mobile.
not?
I'm not able to see the screen fully. It has to be shifted to a little left.
Is it? Okay, hang on.
Because I don't have the laptop and I'm logging in from my phone. So there'll be a little
I'll try again.
adjustments to be done.
Is it better?
Yes, better. Can it be a little bolder, closer one?
Better?
Yes, a little more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly all right. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Am I permitted to read the mantra of the Srimad-Bhagavatam also, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, that's, yeah.
Narayanam Namoskrite Naram Cheva Nanottamam Devyam Saraswatyam Vyasam Tato Jayantudrajit Nashti Prayeshu Badreshu Nitya Bhagavate Sevyam Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhavati Bhavati Nashtaki. We are continuing recitation of Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, and Shloka 1. This is instructions of Narada to Vyasdev. Sutavacha. Atham tam sukha asin upasinam brahachava Devrishi praha vipirishi vina vinashi samay nitri.
Just one moment. I think it's cutting this size. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I think I did wrong way.
I'm sorry for troubling you with these adjustments.
No, that's fine. You tell me it should be. When? Yeah, I can do it. Is this better now? I think this should be all right.
Yeah. But we are not able to see the English version.
Yes. Okay. Better, yeah?
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
I'm a little nervous today. This is for the first time.
No, don't be nervous.
I'm sorry if something will
We're all
happen,
beginners.
Prabhuji will help me out.
We are all beginners, mother. Don't worry. We just, friends getting together and discussing. That's all. Nothing complicated here. Please do.
Sutta Goswami said, "Thus the sage amongst the gods, Narada, comfortably seated and apparently smiling, addressing the rishi amongst the brahmanas."
Text 2, Narada Vacha. Parasaraya Mahabhaga Bhavata Kachid Atmana Paritushayate Sharira Atma Mansa Ivava.
Addressing Vyasadeva, the son of Parasara, Narada inquired, all you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as objects of self-realization.
Text 3. Jigyasitam susampannanam apite mahad adbhutam kritvan bhartam yastavam sarvatha paribhramitam.
Your inquiries were full of your studies, were also well fulfilled, and there is no doubt that you have prepared a great work and wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences, elaborated, explained.
Text 4. Jigyasitam aditam cha brahma yattat sanatanam tatha api suchase atmanam akra artha eva prabho.
You have fully declined the subject of impersonal Brahm as well as the knowledge derived. Therefore, why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu?
Vyasavacha asateva me sarvidam teoyaktam tatha apinatma paratusuyete me tatmulam avyaktam aghad bodham prichamahe tvam tav atma bhav atma bhutam.
Sri Vyasadeva said, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I'm not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. Or a man of unlimited knowledge due to your being the offspring of one Brahm who is self-born without mention father and mother.
Text 6. Samve bhavan veda samasta guya mupasito yat pursha purana paravaresho manseva vishwam sajatyatyate gunere sangha.
My Lord, everything is mysterious, is known to you because you worship the creator and destroyer of the material world and the maintainer of the spiritual world, the original personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to the three modes of material nature.
Text 7. Tam paryatan arka eva trilokim antasharo anantashacharo vayurivat makshaksi paravare brahmane dharmato vrite sanatasya me nyunamumalam vichakshava.
Like the sun, your goodness can travel everywhere in the three worlds and like the air, you can penetrate the internal region of everyone. As such, you are as good as the all pervasive super soul. Therefore, please find out the deficiency in me, despite my being absorbed in the transcendence and under disciplinary regulations and vows.
Text 8. Sri Narada Vacha. Bhavtanudita parayam yasho bhagavato amalam yene vaso tu tushayete manye tad darshanam khilam.
Sri Narada said, you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the personality of Godhead, that philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental sense of the Lord is considered worthless.
Text 9. Yatha dharma dasyartha munir vayanukrititaha na tatha vasudevasya mahima hyo nivarnita.
Or the great sage, you have very broadly described the four principles beginning with the religious performance. You have not described the glories of Supreme Personality Vasudeva.
Text 10. Nayadvacha chitra padam harere yaso jagat pavitram pragrinitam kahirchata tadvayasam tirtha mushanti mansa nayatra hamsa nirmantu yushikshaya.
Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of whole universe, we can consider by saintly persons to be like unto the place of pilgrimage, like crows. Since the all perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure there.
Text 11. Tadvag visargo janantika vipalavo yasmin pratishalokam abhadhavata api namani anantasya yaso ankitaniyat shabhanti gayanti grananti sadvaha.
On the other hand, that literature which is full of description of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed towards beginning about the revolution in the pious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by the purified men who are thoroughly honest.
Text 12. Neshkarmayam api achyute bhava varjitam na shobhate jnanam alam nirajanam kuta puna sashvad abhardham ishware na charpitam karma yad payakaranam.
Knowledge of self-realization, even though free from all material affinity, does not look well if devoid of a conception of the infallible God. What then is the use of fruitive activities which are naturally painful from the very beginning and the transcend by nature if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord?
Text 13. Atho mahabhaga bhavan amogitrik sushi shrivaha satyarato drita vritaha urukka masya khila bandha muktaye samhadi anusmara tad visheshitam.
Oh Vyasadeva, your vision is completely perfect. Your good fame is spotless. You are firm in vow and situated in the truthfulness. And thus you can think of the past times of Lord and trans for the liberation of people in general from all material bondage.
Text 14. Tatto anyatha kinchana yad vivaksata prathag drishas tatkrita rupa namabhi na karchite kopecha duksithita mati labhete vatahita nor ivapasadam.
Whatever you desire to describe that is a separate vision from the Lord simply reacts with different forms, names, and results to agitate the mind as the wind agitates a boat which has no resting place.
Jag upasitam dharma krite anusataha sabhavasraktasya mahan vyaktikrama yadvake to dharma itatara sithito namanyate tasnivaranam jana.
The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the name of religion. This is verified, condemned, and is quite unreasonable because they are guided under your instructions. They will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for philosophy.
Prohibitions. Care for prohibitions. Text 16. Vichakshasana ishareti veditam vibhor anant parasya nirvatita sukham prabhatmanasya guner anant manas satto bhavan darshe cheshtam vibho.
The Supreme Lord is unlimited. Only a few expert personality retired from the activities of material happiness deserves to understand the knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to the material attachment should be shown the ways of transcendental realization by your goodness. The description of the transcendental Supreme Lord. Activities of the Supreme Lord. I'm sorry, Prabhuji, we have only one phone here.
Let's rotate between.
Carry on.
Text 17. Tyaktva sadharma charna vujam hare bhajanan apakavo atha pate tato yadi yatra kavava bhadram budmusham kim ko vartha apato abhajatam sarva dharmata.
One who has
forsaken
his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything.
Text 18. Taseve heto prete to kovido na labhyate yad brahmatma arth pardaya brahma uparyadaha tallabhyate dukha vadhyanta sukham kalena sarvatra gabhiraha saha.
Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endure only for that purposeful and which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala, as far as happiness derived from the sense enjoyment is concerned. It can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. Sorry.
Text 19. Navajano jatu kathanchir varjanam vraje mukunda seve anyavad anga samartitam sansritam samar mukanda mukandha upah guhanam punar vihatam ichen narasa griho jana.
My dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes falls down somehow or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, because a person who has once relished the taste of lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that
Ecstasy.
Again and again.
Ecstasy again and again. Text 20. Text 20. Idam hi vishwam bhagwan nitro vetro yato jagat sathani nirodha sambhava taddi sayam ved bhava sathat sansthapite pradesh matram bhavta pradarshitam.
The Supreme Lord Personality of Godhead is Himself, this cosmos, and still He is aloof from it. From Him only has this cosmic manifestation emanated. In Him it rests, and unto Him it enters
after annihilation.
After annihilation, your good self knows all about this. I have given
only a synopsis. I have given only a synopsis. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for being so cooperative and
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bear our inconsistencies, and
I could sense the Braj there. You're from Delhi, not far from Vrindavan, so you're bringing the dust of Vrindavan
we need,
to all of us.
we need the mercy of Krishna and devotees like you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
It's been an honor given by Shriji, Shoriji, to be on this platform.
Sure.
While we were on a vacation to London, and it has been wonderful for her and all the devotees, and we offer our obeisances to all the devotees who are in this class today, and we pray that and we are more fluent in reciting the Sanskrit versions.
And me also. I've done so many mistakes, Prabhuji.
No, you were so nice. Everything was perfect, Prabhu. It's perfect. Thank you so much.
Prabhu. Thank you so much.
It's
Wonderful.
It's always
wonderful opportunity. We love this opportunity. It will be remembered and for eternity in our life, and we spoke something on Bhagavatam, and we were given a chance to speak the instructions of Naradji to Vyasadev. Thank you so much. You can continue with the class. Thank you so much. We are really honored. We are really honored. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Shriji Kishori Mataji. Thank you so much.
Jai, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. Hari Bol.
I will share my screen once again and we'll discuss the verse for the day. Sorry. Okay. So we'll discuss verse number 5 today. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vyasa Uvacha. Asteva me sarvamidam tvayoktam tathapi natma paritushyate me tanamulam avyaktam agadbodham ichhamahe tvatma bhavatma bhutam asteva me sarvamidam tvayoktam tathapi natma paritushyate me tanamulam avyaktam agadbodham ichhamahe tvatma bhavatma bhutam. Synonyms, word for word, Sanskrit to English translation. Vyasaha, Vyasa, Uvacha said, Asti, there is, Eva, certainly, Me, mine, Sarvam, all, Idam, this, Tvaya, by you, Uktam, uttered, Tathapi, and yet, Na, not, Atma, self, Paritushyate, does pacify, me, unto me, tat, of which, Moolam, root, avyaktam, undetected, agadha bodham, the man of unlimited knowledge, prichhamahe, do inquire, tva, unto you, atmabhava, atmabhava, self-born, atmabhutam, offspring. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. Translation goes like this. Sri Vyasadeva said, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I am not pacified. I therefore question you about the root cause of my dissatisfaction. For you are a man of unlimited knowledge due to your being the offspring of one, Brahma, who is self-born without mundane father and mother. Purport. In the material world, everyone is engrossed with the idea of identifying the body or the mind with the self. As such, all knowledge disseminated in the material world is related either with the body or with the mind, and that is the root cause of all despondencies. This is not always detected, even though one may be the greatest erudite scholar in materialistic knowledge. It is good, therefore, to approach a personality like Narada to solve the root cause of all despondencies. Why Narada should be approached is explained below. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaisnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Tajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namahom Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschadadeshatarine. Mukam karoti vachalam pangham langhayate girim yatkripaatmaham vande Shri Gurudena Taranam. Hare Krishna. Everyone, thank you so much for being here this Friday evening. It's very hot outside. People are really happy about it. And some of them are trying to find some cold place in the ocean somewhere or wherever. But all of you great devotees of the Lord are here to discuss Srimad-Bhagavatam. So I'm so blessed to be in your association. And I seek everyone's blessing that I'm able to speak something that could be useful for everyone and surely for my own purification. So today's verse, we come to the 5th verse of the 5th chapter. This chapter is going to explain the despondency of Srila Vyasadeva and his spiritual master, Srila Narad Muni, how he will help in resolving the confusion or the despondency or the dissatisfaction of Srila Vyasadeva. Quite a few interesting aspects to this chapter. The foremost is like Vyasadeva, as we were reading before, had some doubt as to what he has written, a great epic of Mahabharata. 100,000 verses, and he had put a lot of effort. It is also said that Sri Ganeshi was writing it, and the condition was that Vyasadeva would not stop. would never stop reciting. The moment he stops, Ganeshi will stop as well and go away. So a lot of effort were put in there. But somehow the outcome of that did not satisfy the heart of Srila Vyasadeva. And it is so relevant for all of us in today's day and time where we have so many occupations and we do attempt to make our life happy, or maybe others' life happy even more than that. But if it is not in, sync with the desire of the Lord, that eventually becomes a cause of dissatisfaction for both the person who is attempting to satisfy someone and the person who is receiving the service. So it is so relevant for all of us. And this is the greatness of Srimad-Bhagavatam as well. Because the Mahabharata is addressed or addressing the four goals of human life: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Yeah, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given the fifth artha, premo pamartha mahan. Yeah. So, because the four goals of human life that was attempted for the welfare of people in general in Kali Yuga, we discussed previously, less intelligent, less fortunate, always disturbed. So what is supposed to be good is less and less. What is supposed to be not there is more and more. So there is always disturbance. We're always disturbed. In spite of all the disturbance, everyone is still trying to make sense out of this material life, including all of us. So Vyasadeva welcomes his spiritual master, and Narada is asking a very pertinent and pointed question. Are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind, the objects of self-realization? So we'll discuss two aspects today in whatever time we have. Try to wrap up by 42. Two aspects of this conversation. Srila Vyasadeva, we know that he is the Saptavish avatar of Bhagavan Krishna himself, or Vishnu's incarnation. He's empowered, his Lord himself. In all the Manvantaras, there is a Vyas. But this particular Manvantara Vyas is the Lord himself expanding for a specific purpose. So even then, it seems like he's discussing his reason for dissatisfaction. And this is a lesson for us as well. So if we attempt to serve, whether in our personal lives or in the spiritual lives, it is very important that we discuss our plan with other devotees, with the peers, with the senior devotees. I remember I'll share my personal story. When I was in Mumbai many years ago, I was coming to UK for a job. Most of us from India come to UK for a job, moving here to there. And I was discussing this with some of my devotee friends, and they were like, oh no, it is a bad news. I was thinking, oh really, it's bad news? I'm going to UK. So it seemed like I was excited, but some of the devotees were not happy. So wow. I still discussed. It was good, but I still did what I thought I will be better. And I'm definitely, Krishna takes care of everyone. So I'm very fortunate to be connected here. Yeah, but also in the pastime of even Lord Krishna would discuss his plans with Uddhav, whatever his plan. Sometimes I would ask Uddhav to suggest what should be the right course of action. For example, whether to go in the Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthir, or to deal with the with this what was his name? I forgot. Dantavakra and what is the name of that person who was killed by Bhima? Jarasandha. Yeah. So the Lord would always discuss. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well, before he wanted to leave for Vrindavan, he would seek permission of all the devotees, discuss what his plan is, and the devotees would suggest something. They would say, at least, take some of us with you. You'll be busy in your chanting. You'll be absorbed. So you need someone to hold your kamandalu, someone to hold your, your clothes, one pair of clothes spare that he'll carry. So they would discuss all that. And here Vyasadeva is also doing the same. And spiritual master Srila Narad Muni, so beautifully glorified by the Srila Vyasadeva, said, all you have said in this verse says, all you have said about me is perfectly correct. Despite all this, I'm not pacified. Yeah. So actually in the previous verse, it is interesting what Narad Muni says, why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu, is the Guru saying to his disciple, addressing as Prabhu. So that respect is amazing. And also it seemed like, just it's a bit of a funny gesture as well. And Vyasadeva obviously, is glorifying, saying it makes very beautiful points. You are a man of unlimited knowledge. And why is that? Because due to your being the offspring of one Brahma, who is self-born, who is not a ordinary person. He is the mind-born son of Lord Brahma himself. And who is self-born? So, I say, Atma Bhu says, Atma Bhava, sorry. Atma Bhutam, Atma Bhava. Bhava is to get birth, Atma Bhava. So, this is the glorification of his spiritual master and accepting his personal situation and inquiring. So this is something that we can also pick up in our lives. So approach devotees, approach spiritual master, discuss our dissatisfaction, and often the solution will come as the devotees speak. And it says that Krishna speaks through his devotees. So when we do that, it does resolve our issues. Now, Srimad-Bhagavatam is described the best Purana. All the Vedas or Puranas will not have a single focus of glorifying the Supreme Lord, will not have a single focus of giving the devotional mellows to the reader of the scripture. Vedas would glorify Indra, Varuna, Agni, all the demigods. Vedas also provide the facility to perform yagyas, go to heaven and enjoy. And Puranas also, like the Puranas, all the Puranas, some Purana may have specific, they will have some, even the Puranas with mode of goodness, they will have a lot of discussion on the Supreme Lord, but it will also carry some other messages, some other glorification, some other ways of doing things, and not necessarily it's all bhakti. And the other thing is, like all the Puranas, it's very common. I think most of us from the Indian background, we know what a Falastuti is. So we read the whole chapter, and then there's the Falastuti. Yeah, so whoever is reciting this chapter every day gets a good progeny or a good fame or long life or this and that. Purana, but Bhagavad Puran is just one condensed Kaitava, Dharma Prodita Kaitavatra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam Vedyam Vastavam Astavat Vedyam Vastava, like the real Vastu. So Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayonamulanam. So there's also Anumulanam, there is also a reference of the root causes. What is root cause? So Vyasadeva asked Narada, what is the root cause of my dissatisfaction? Yeah, the root is very important. We go, the power of Vedic scriptures is It addresses the root cause of the problem. You know, in our IT world, we talk about sticky type solution. Just do some temporary fix here, temporary fix there. Somehow it will work. In our real life also, we try to do this. Somehow, just do something. It will work for some days, and then we'll think again about it, what we should do. And often, everything has to be redone. But it never solves any problem from the root. So Vyasadeva is asking this question. Yeah. What is the root cause of my issue? And Bhagavatam is was tapatrayo unmoolanam. Mula is root, like tapatrayo, all the three tapas, adi bhautik, adi daivik, adi atmik, all the three tapa or three miseries, three types of miseries will be unrooted, taken out of the root. And the root of that is the bhava, the existence of the material world, or trying to enjoy in this material world, but we can't. So because the nature of the soul is to serve the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Jiva Swarupa, Krishna Nityadas. Until the time he gets in that constitutional position, there is no chance that a jiva or living entity will have any satisfaction. So just like Prabhupada gives example of, if someone is thirsty, if you give them the best of the best cooked food, or give him whatever, only thing that can quench the thirst is water. That is the only solution for the thirst. So this thirst of trying to achieve happiness, we are all thirsty. That's why we keep drinking more and more. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe this. Try all these different recipes, different solutions to quench this thirst of happiness. But the happiness, is just evading us constantly. That's why the beautiful 6 questions that were asked by the sages Naimisharanya. And after the questions were asked, Sutta Goswami says, that the question that you have asked are worthy because they are relating to the Supreme Lord. And these answers to these questions, the questions are so relevant. This type of questions are only to be answered or asked to be able to completely satisfy the self. And also one of the question was that, what is the essence of all the scriptures? What is that people in general should be, what should be the goal of people in general? Yeah. So, and the other question, beautiful, it was interesting why, one of the question was, why did the Supreme Lord took birth in the womb of Devaki? Please tell us what are the different Leela avatars, what are the Purusha avatars. Now Lord Krishna has gone to his own abode. Where is the Dharma and the Gyan is gone? So all these questions so relevant, because answer to this question will only satisfy the heart, the self. And the beautiful answer that Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radokshadi Ahetuki Apatihata Yayatama Suprasidati. So Prasidati is again the satisfaction. Yeah? It's only Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Paro Dharma. So not the 4 Dharma Artha Kama Moksha. Not of the, so this is interesting how Vyasadeva is actually authoring Bhagavad Puran. And if we go through the first chapter and second chapter, it kind of relates the same message. It plays the same message, on all the verses, like Kaitava Dharma, how it is rejecting the Kaitava Dharma, how the highest satisfaction can only be achieved by performing unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service to the Lord. It's just constantly says the same thing. The occupations, all the 4 occupations, unless It is for the service of the Lord. Unless it is satisfying the Lord, it is only Shrama eva hi kevalam. It's only just hard labor. Yeah. And until the dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Sanusristasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Until the time the Lord's senses are satisfied, there is no chance of getting any satisfaction, even if the varnashram dharma is properly, executed. The duties are discharged in the perfect way. Even then, there is no satisfaction possible until the time that all those activities are directed towards the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Then the question that could be asked is, even then we see a lot of people in general. If you ask them, I do ask all the time, and say, how is life? It's a very common question. It's going to be, how are you doing? Are you all right? Is everything okay? And people will often, yeah, not too bad, not too bad. And even if you ask in detail, like, really is not too bad? Is it really, yeah, it's okay. It seems okay. Yeah, it's okay. So on the surface. So this is what is called two types of covering. Prakshepa Atmika and Avarana Atmika. Prakshepa Atmika means always pulling down, down and down and down. Wherever we are, if we don't actively engage in the devotional service of Krishna, it is going to be constantly a journey down and down and down to the hell, to the animal, animal kingdom or animal life. So that is what's called Prakshepa Atmika. So means a man, even if someone in a higher position or someone in lower position, they'll say, oh yeah, it's okay, I feel satisfied, things are going okay. I've got some plans to sort out the things, I have a few things going on, and I'll do this and this and this, and I'll be fine. We give them a solution. Here's Srimad-Bhagavatam that can solve all the problems. Some people will definitely accept. Some people will say, I think I'm okay. Life is not too bad. Even if or maybe there's a tendency, even if people are receiving Srimad-Bhagavatam, it takes a while before it strikes that, oh, we should be engaging in this reading of this, most supreme scripture, Srimad-Bhagavatam. And the animal covering, Avarana Atmika, like it's covering. That means animals have no concept. They're okay. Even there's a story of Indra. That one time he was cursed by his spiritual master, Brihaspati, for some improper behavior on the spiritual master, to become a pig. And Indra becomes a pig. The story, we know the story. And he's living with his, extended family. He has a wife or wives. He has many children. He's enjoying the most abominable, I can't even name it, things in this world. And he's saying, life is okay. It's not too bad. There's no Indra in the heaven. Indra is supposed to be the king of the heaven. And Lord Brahma is worried, like, there is no one. There must be a king. There must be someone who's the authority. And Indra is serving his term down in the Bhuloka. So Brahmaji asked him, okay, it's your curse time is over. It's time to go back and get to your position as a king of the heavenly planets. Indra says, no, I'm okay. Life is not too bad. And, I have all these dependents here. I have to look after them. So there's this covering aspect. And we can all have, to some degree, that same covering. To the degree we have this illusion that we can solve the problem by ourselves, or we have an idea and we nearly sorted, and kind of evade that complete surrender. tamsatave bhajamyaham, to that degree, Krishna will reciprocate, the way we want to approach him. In that way, he will reciprocate. So if you want to be under the illusion Maya, then it will be facilitated. No matter who we are, whether we are Indra or anyone, there's a tendency to be covered. So why is it there? It's just, this is what is the role of Maya. Yes, anyone can forget until the time there is the entry of the spiritual master. For a normal conditioned soul, it is only a Gyat could be, or it could be causeless mercy of the devotees of the Lord, that they somehow bump into us, and then the things start to change in life. So, and then even, otherwise it's difficult. People just carrying on, I have to feed my family, I have to do this and I have to do that. There are many examples, like Mrigarari, until the time we met Srila Narad Muni, and he was asked the right question, like, you're doing so many sinful killings. Do you know what the outcome of this is? Oh, I'm just feeding my family. I have to do whatever is needed to feed my family. And I'm doing my right dharma. My dharma is to look after my family, to feed them. And to be able to perform that, this is what I can do. So I'm doing it. So I think I'm doing my duty, is the right thing to do. But then when he was asked, you also aware that you're going to be, paying for all the sins that you are incurring? Oh, no. Or will the family will share a little bit? Oh, no, family will also share. Why don't you go and ask? Goes and asks, oh, will they share? Oh, no, we will not share. Why should we? It's your duty to feed us. We didn't ask you to do the killings. That's your problem. We're not going to share. So this is the condition. People secure money by committing violence or sinful activities here or there, but they can't understand, they can't see until the time there is a mercy. There is mercy of Srimad-Bhagavatam, the mercy of spiritual masters. Dhritarashtra was also like that. Dhritarashtra, all his sons died in the Mahabharata war, but what he did was, after the war, he was still living, in the same palace, and he was receiving a lot of honor and services from Dharmaraj Yudhishthir, until the time Vidur comes in and shakes him a little bit. You've forgotten Bhima, because Bhima was the one who killed all of his sons. That, you're just like a dog. Something he says, like a dog who's being fed by, thrown some chapatis, some rotis, and you're eating it, by Bhima. So I was given some really harsh words. Dhritarashtra, finally understood, even though he heard the whole Bhagavad Gita, everything, nothing really worked with him. Finally understood. It's only the role of the spiritual master who can enlighten us and who can show us the real goal of human life, and what is the most important vastu, or the item that we should be considering for our lives. There are so many examples in Chaitanya Charitamrita, like Sanatana Goswami. The devotees are so beautiful, amazing. And they were like Prime Minister and Home Minister or something of Nawab Hussain in Bengal. But they were never satisfied. I think it's also mentioned, like, in what conditions they had to take the position. That's another story. But the moment they got the opportunity to get out of that mess, they just took it, and they just left with all the risk and whatever they managed. And because once they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then they could identify where that satisfaction will be. There is no satisfaction in anything else. in spite of whatever position he may have. Even we've seen in the material world, there's so many rich people who would accumulate, a lot of wealth in all their career, whatever companies, big companies, corporates they will create, and their share values will be in billions or billions. But then they would not feel satisfied. They would find some other ways of satisfaction, charity. Maybe if I do some charity, that will give me satisfaction. But there is no satisfaction in the charity either, so they again get distracted, it seems. So there's a constant behavior of people trying to find that vastu, that thing which will satisfy the heart, satisfy the soul. Because unless the soul is satisfied, we can never feel satisfied because we're not the body. So everything that is being used by us is to just satisfy the body because of the Maya factor, as we discussed, Prakshipatmika, Varnatmika, one or the other illusion. So nobody finds any satisfaction. Even the yogis, the jnanis. There's so many examples. Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakala, Shant. Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakala, Shant. Krishna Bhakta is only Shanta, is only Krishna Bhakta, is fully satisfied. And even this is Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pastime of Raghunath Das Goswami, he was son of a millionaire. And he was married to, a heavenly type personality. But he was, he knew what he wanted, what was the purpose of life. So he was never satisfied with that. He never even tried to get in satisfaction, only to the extent that Lord Chaitanya told him to stay until a certain time and then he can come. So this is the satisfaction is, there are many stories, pastimes in the Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the satisfaction is only achieved when a living entity comes in contact with the devotees of the Lord and takes up the devotional service, and in whatever way, whatever taste they develop. So so this is the two aspects we discussed. There is aspect of clarifying our doubts or our confusions, our despondencies with the seniors, with other devotees. And the other aspect we discussed was the satisfaction. There may be, that's what we're trying to do, satisfy. In Hindi, I don't know how many of you understand. When I was a little boy, my grandfather used to say one, Hindi mein, go dhana gaj dhana vaj dhan और रतन धन खान जब आवे संतोष धन सब धन धूल समान. I don't know how many of you can understand. But it says that go dhana, the wealth of the elephant, wealth of the gajadan, or the horses, or maybe jewels, or maybe anything, until the time this wealth of satisfaction is achieved. That time, once the wealth of satisfaction achieved, everything, all other wealth is like dhuli, like dust. Like Dhruv Maharaj also, when he got the darshan of Lord, he was saying, "Well, I was asking for just a piece of broken glass." So he didn't want to have that. So there's so many beautiful examples that gives us the conviction that the correct path for satisfaction is only one, which is the unalloyed, unmotivated devotional service unto the lotus feet of the spiritual, lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna. So that was my chant. So thank you so much. It's 5:02, sorry, running a bit late today. And if you have any comments or any discussions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for a wonderful class, Prabhuji. I was just thinking that in addition to seeking the lotus feet of devotees or or a spiritual master, the key thing is, I learned from this section is that we need to take the Guru's instruction seriously, because Vyasadeva could have said, well, I've done what I can and I really don't want to do anything more than that. But he actually took it so seriously that he went on to writing the Srimad-Bhagavatam. And often we seek guidance from devotees, senior devotees, but very hesitantly we put them into practice, or we sometimes not sure about whether it fits in with our plan or not.
Very important. Thank you so much for raising this. Yeah, that's our situation. We will ask everyone, and then we'll do our own thing. As a Hindi may saying, "Suno sapni karo apni." A lot of people see me like that. Wow. So you'll remain in the mess. Yes, that's so important. Yes. So he took the words of Sushil Master and then just followed that. And outcome was this Srimad-Bhagavatam. Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. No matter how elevated we are, we can still fall down, and we still need instructions from people, isn't it? Yes, Deva was so elevated, and yet he's seeking advice from his spiritual master. But Prabhuji, I wanted to ask, it might be slightly irrelevant, but why Vyasadeva runs after Sukadev Goswami when he's walking away, and he is kind of the guru in detachment and family entanglement, and yet why does he run after him and cries after him and laments so much? Is there a lesson there?
Sukadev Goswami is a pure devotee of the Lord. The lesson is like, no one wants separation from the pure devotees. When we are with the devotees, pure devotees, we don't want a separation for a moment also, isn't it? We just follow them all the time, here, there, whatever they're doing. So Prabhupada will go, everyone would just follow him. So the Vyasadev's following of Sukadeva Goswami was, because Sukadeva Goswami is, who is he? He's such, just imagine in that assembly, he was the one who was chosen to part with this knowledge of Srimad-Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. And who were the personalities sitting in there? There was the Vyasadeva himself, his father, there's Narada Muni himself, there's Vasishtha, there's, it says Valmiki, Vishwamitra, all the greatest of the greatest rishis were there. So the situation of Sukadeva Goswami is so high that it was hard to accept that separation from him. So that aspect, I did discuss this question. This question is picked up so many times. So what you raised.
Sorry, I must have missed that.
No,
yes.
no, I'm sure you would have. Yeah. So yeah, there's one aspect to that. So other thing is because that's the thing between the devotees, because Vyasadeva is who in our sampradaya, and our sampradaya is we're not hard-hearted, right? So what happens with the pure jnani, Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a conversation. The jnanis become very hard-hearted because all we say, oh, I'm the soul, I'm the body, you're the soul, he's the soul, everyone's soul, and that's it. Everything else is Maya. So there's no, there's no relationship, no love. So because our whole existence, our philosophy is the philosophy of love. When there is separation and when there's love, there's going to be tears. So because love is the highest for us, that's how we see that. And in that love, if there's separation, then there'll be heartbreaking, there'll be tears. And that's why there was this whole concept. That's how we are different. That's how the sampradaya that we follow, Mahaprabhu sampradaya, is a sampradaya of crying. Gaur Govind Maharaj, if you get it like they say, we are the sampradaya of crying in separation, crying in love. So that is our, philosophy. So which is valid. It's very fitting for our particular following of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, his own mood, is that the love amongst devotees, love for the Supreme Lord, like that. I don't know whether I answered your question, but this is what I heard from.
No, lovely. Yes, it's lamentation for the Supreme and for pure devotees rather than the sun in
Yeah.
the Supreme. Yes, understand. Sorry. So my material brain doesn't reach that.
To be honest, it's
Thank
not
you.
even, just to say that further, even it is not wrong to be feeling lamented about this.
Absolutely.
Because it is,
Yes.
we
Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kailash Prabhu, any closing comments? It's just one pass already. He's there.
Jai Dhanava Pranams. Thank you for a wonderful class. We can understand, even in our fallen and petty condition, we can understand Vyasadev's lamentation of not getting satisfaction, because even in our day-to-day lives, once we've tasted Krishna Prema, everything mundane that we do just has absolutely no taste whatsoever. Material relationships, having to go to material weddings, having to do things with material relatives, going to anything that doesn't have Krishna attached to it has just a sense of mundaneness about it and just no taste and no, when we're out with, unfortunately in my profession, we have to be out with clients a lot, and you go out to some extremely expensive untold restaurants which you can't eat anything at anyway. All you can have is some salad, but yet you walk out with absolutely no satisfaction. And you go to the mandir and you have that little bit of siro, and the taste of that siro is so opulent. It beats everything in this world. So we can understand how Vyasadeva is feeling. I guess even in our little mundane experiences, we have this dissatisfaction. So yeah, it must be overwhelming and overpowering. So we can understand that. So
beautiful
thank you.
example. Thank you so much. The khichdi that tastes so nice. Thank you. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Is it too late?
No,
No, I'm just.
carry on. Yes,
Yeah.
Janukanya Mataji ki
I
jai.
think Hare Krishna is the coming back to the how much can you do, and you come to a full stop sometimes when you feel you can't go on in that area anymore, but the desire you have to fulfill your goal, or perhaps to continue with your duty, helps you to, it opens up a venue for you to pursue that desire, and it could be in a different direction. So that's what the lesson I gather from it. It doesn't mean that you are a failure. You just carry on because you still have that desire, and you want to continue your journey in Krishna consciousness and to serve others. I think it's okay. You don't, in the English version they say know your limits and move on, so that's what I gather from it. I don't know if I'm right, but it's very useful. And to be satisfied, obviously you're not satisfied, so that's how you feel, but you're able to go on in a different direction, and Krishna helps you to go to that place, doesn't he? Which is useful, I think.
Yeah. So summarize what you're saying is it is possible that our intention is correct. The same Srila Vyasadev's intention was correct. His intention was not wrong. His intention was to serve the people in general, and for that he provided this Mahabharata, this Pravritti Marg, Nivritti Marg, Pravritti Marg. Enjoy and enjoy and enjoy, and then someday you'll get there. But
Yes.
the-
Is the
what-
willingness and the idea that it will get you in a better place.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm just thinking about the lamenting as well, Prabhuji. How is it possible for us? We talk about love and lamenting, and when you're attached to people or good relationships, how can you not lament?
Yeah, totally agree. Can't agree more. We can lament, yes. But I think there are two things: is lamenting, and then what happens after that. So every activity, we have to see what is the outcome of that. Some lamentation, the outcome or the end result could be that we can be distracted from our goal of life. Then that lamentation is not good. So it's very difficult to kind of put in any category, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we are human. We are, we have emotions. We have compassion. So lamentation is part of the whole thing. So it's not bad. Definitely, there are so many examples that we can relate to. But we see the further, if we move on further in any of the stories, we realize the end achievement was definitely the higher purpose. So
The lamenting is given a space to grieve, isn't it? And once you've lived that, you come out of it a lot more clearer and sort of able to carry on with your
yeah,
prescribed duties and to do the right thing. And in fact, it leads you to Krishna because, well, if you got that intention, it just takes you further, I think.
so long we just continue to follow the process, continue to chant to the best of our capability, continue to read Srimad-Bhagavatam, continue to hear, continue to serve. I think everything else just comes and goes and comes and goes. My experience, you just don't take anything seriously. It's just these activities of chanting and hearing just continues, and as the time goes, things, Krishna takes care of his devotees, and we're sure things will work out. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. It's 10 for us. Thank you so much for being here today, and we wish you the best of Krishna conscious weekend. And please forgive any offenses. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanabhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namah.
Namo namaha.
Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai.
Prabhuji Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai.
Thank
Hare
you, dear
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you,
Hare
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Prabhuji. Very
Prabhuji.
nice class.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.